Have you ever looked in the mirror and felt like something was just off? The color was right, the fit seemed okay, but somehow you looked older, tired, even. It might not be your outfit, it might be your fabric. Yes, the very material your clothes are made of could be the reason you look years older than you feel. And here's the surprise. Many elegant, stylish women over 60 fall into this trap every single day, without realizing it. Hi, I'm your name, and welcome to Healthwise for Seniors, your go-to channel for timeless style, graceful living, and confidence at every age. Today, I'm going to show you 6 fabrics that are silently aging your appearance, and more importantly, what to wear instead to look fresh, elegant, and completely yourself. Now, I know some people say, wear whatever makes you feel comfortable. And while that's partly true, the full story is this. The right fabric doesn't just feel good, it works with you. Flatters your skin, moves with your body, and enhances your natural beauty. The wrong fabric? It clings, reflects light in all the wrong places, stretches out, or makes you look like you're stuck in a different decade. So before we dive into the details, do me a quick favor, hit the like button, share this video with a friend who deserves to feel beautiful in what she wears, and subscribe to Healthwise for Seniors for more real-life, graceful fashion advice tailored just for you. All right, let's get into it. Here are the 6 fabrics you might want to retire from your wardrobe, and the elegant alternatives that will make you feel like the best version of yourself again. Shiny, stiff polyester. The fabric that secretly ages you for many women over 60, comfort and practicality become top priorities when getting dressed. But one of the biggest mistakes I see, especially among well-meaning, stylish women, is relying on shiny, stiff polyester fabrics that quietly add years to their appearance. This type of polyester often has a glossy, plastic-like sheen and a rigid drape. It doesn't flow with the body, instead, it clings in the wrong places and stands away from your shape in others. Worse yet, it reflects light in a way that draws attention to every little crease in the skin, especially around the neck, chest, and arms. It can look harsh, dated, and overly synthetic, and let's not forget comfort. Polyester is notoriously unbreathable. In warmer weather or under direct sunlight, it traps heat and moisture, leaving you hot, sticky, and uncomfortable, all while making your outfit look overly done but not in a flattering way. Take, for example, Linda, a 64-year-old retiree from Florida who loved a royal blue polyester blouse she bought years ago for work. It had a bit of shine and structure, and she used to feel confident in it. But now, she noticed that every time she wore it, she felt off, older, stiffer, and less like herself. We swapped that blouse for a soft, matte tencel top in a similar color, and the transformation was instant. She looked fresher, more relaxed, and her skin glowed instead of competing with the fabric. So what should you wear instead? White heavy checkmark tencel or lyocell. These plant-based fabrics are silky soft, breathable, and drape beautifully without clinging. Perfect for blouses, summer pants, or wrap dresses. White heavy checkmark high-quality viscose. Lightweight and elegant. Viscose gives the feel of silk without the maintenance. It moves with you and never looks stiff or shiny. White heavy checkmark Cupro, known as vegan silk, Cupro is a breathable, luxurious alternative with a smooth matte finish that flatters mature skin tones. Quick tip, always check fabric under natural light. If it shines like a plastic bag or feels rough to the touch, it's likely not doing you any favors. Opt for matte, fluid fabrics that reflect your natural grace and help your wardrobe whisper elegance, not scream polyester. After 60, the right fabric doesn't just make you look good, it makes you feel like yourself again. And that's the true essence of timeless style. Heavy, rigid denim. When your jeans start working against you, denim will always have a place in our wardrobes, but not all jeans are created equal, especially after 60. One of the biggest culprits in aging your look is heavy, stiff, old-school denim that does nothing to flatter your body or reflect your personality today. These jeans are often made from thick, non-stretch cotton with a rigid structure. They may have been trendy in the 80s or early 2000s, but today they can easily weigh down your silhouette both literally and visually. When the fabric is too stiff, it refuses to move with your body, bunches in the wrong places, and creates harsh lines at the hips and knees. Even worse, this type of denim tends to emphasize everything you don't want it to. It can flatten your backside, create gapping at the waist, and make your legs look boxy instead of sleek. And let's be honest, that thick waistband pressing into your midsection, it's not doing anyone any favors. Let me tell you about Susan, a 67-year-old retired teacher from Oregon. She held onto her favorite pair of levis for decades, convinced that they were timeless. But every time she wore them, she felt bulky and uncomfortable. When she finally tried on a pair of mid-rise stretch jeans with a slightly tapered leg and soft-washed finish, she couldn't believe the difference. "I feel 10 pounds lighter and 10 years younger," she told me with a laugh, and she wasn't wrong. So what should you look for instead? White heavy checkmark midweight stretch denim. A little elastane goes a long way. Look for jeans with 13% spandex or elastane to allow movement and contouring without clinging. White heavy checkmark soft-washed or broken-in finishes. These fabrics feel lived in from the start and move with you gracefully. No more stiffness. No more struggle. White heavy checkmark slim straight or tapered leg cuts. These styles balance your shape, elongate the legs, and avoid the blocky cut-off look of older straight-leg jeans. White heavy checkmark mid or high-rise waistlines. These define your waist, smooth your tummy, and lift your posture. No muffin tops, no sagging. And here's a styling bonus. Cuffing the hem just slightly or opting for a cropped ankle cut brings a lightness to the outfit that feels more modern and playful, especially when paired with loafers, low boots, or even clean white sneakers. Rule of thumb: if your jeans make noise when you walk or fight you when you sit, it's time for a new pair. At this stage in life, your denim should serve you, not the other way around. Pilled and stretched out synthetic knits. When cozy turns frumpy, there's nothing wrong with loving comfort. In fact, after 60, we deserve to feel cozy in everything we wear. But there's a fine line between relaxed and careless, and that line is often crossed by synthetic knits that pill, stretch out, or lose their shape after a few washes. These are the soft sweaters and pull-on pants we reach for at home, to run errands or meet a friend for coffee. They're easy, familiar. But when the fabric begins to pill under the arms, sag at the elbows, or hang shapeless around the hips, they stop serving us and start silently aging us. Here's the issue. Synthetic blends like acrylic or low-quality polyester knits often lack the elastic memory to bounce back. Once stretched, they stay that way. And once they start pilling, no amount of fabric shaving will make them look fresh again. Take Deborah, a 70-year-old grandmother in Arizona. She had a beloved gray knit cardigan that she wore over everything. But one day, her granddaughter asked why her sweater had little fuzzy balls all over it. That was her light bulb moment. She swapped it for a new cotton cashmere blend in a soft heather blue, and suddenly her entire outfit looked more refined, more intentional, and more alive. Here's what to look for instead. White heavy checkmark natural or blended fibers with stretch retention. Think cotton modal blends, cashmere mixes, or merino wool with nylon. These hold their shape longer and resist pilling better. White heavy checkmark structured knits over slouchy shapes. Go for clean silhouettes, lightweight sweater jackets, knit blazers, or ribbed cardigans with satin sleeves. They elevate your whole outfit without sacrificing comfort. White heavy checkmark midweight knits with smooth texture. Avoid anything too fuzzy or brushed on the surface. A smooth knit always looks more polished and ages better over time. And when it comes to colors, choose medium to light neutrals like oatmeal, dove gray, or soft blush, instead of dark, flat tones like dull navy or washed-out brown. These brighter tones lift your complexion, especially if you have silver or white hair. Style tip: if your knitwear starts clinging to your thighs, drooping at the cuffs, or growing fuzzes after just one season, thank it for its service and let it go. You've changed. Your clothes should too. Overly shiny, thin satin. The fabric that highlights everything you don't want it to. Satin can be stunning. But when it's too shiny or too thin, it does more harm than good, especially on mature skin. Many women love satin for its soft feel and dressy vibe, but there's a big difference between sophisticated sheen and that wet-looking, clingy shine that magnifies every line and curve in the wrong way. Ultra-glossy satin reflects light directly onto areas like the bust, midsection, and hips, spots most women over 60 prefer to soften, not spotlight. And thin satin? It's often unforgiving, clinging to undergarment lines, highlighting the belly and shifting awkwardly with every movement. Take Barbara, 68, from North Carolina. She wore a deep burgundy satin blouse to a family dinner, thinking it looked elegant. But in photos, she noticed the glare from the fabric made her look stiff, and the thinness clung to her bra line and waistband in a way that distracted from her face. "I looked like I was wearing wrapping paper," she said, only half joking. So how do you enjoy the silky vibe without the satin drama? White heavy checkmark go for matte or semi-matte alternatives. Fabrics like silk crepe, matte charmeuse, cupro, or even washed silk have a soft glow without the harsh shine. White heavy checkmark choose weight with intention. Look for medium-weight weaves that glide, not cling. These drape gently, skim the body, and feel more luxurious. White heavy checkmark focus on structure, not slink. A blouse with subtle tailoring, darts, or a slight collar in a matte silk will elevate your look far more than a spaghetti strap top in clingy satin. White heavy checkmark layer wisely. If you do love the idea of a satin camisole, layer it under a structured blazer or soft knit wrap. It lets the sheen play peekaboo without overwhelming your outfit. And when it comes to color, muted jewel tones, like deep teal, dusty plum, or mocha, in a matte finish do far more for your complexion than ultra-reflective pastels or metallics. They create depth instead of glare. Fit check. If the satin piece hugs everything, shows bra outlines, or looks like it belongs at a high school prom, it's not honoring the elegant woman you are today. Trade it for fabric that flows with you, not against you. Rough, bulky fabrics. When structure crosses the line into stiffness, there's elegance in structure. But when fabrics get too heavy, too rough, or too bulky, they stop flattering your shape and start aging your entire outfit. Textiles like old-fashioned jacquard, canvas, or coarse brocade may look formal, but on the wrong silhouette, or worse, in dated patterns, they can weigh you down physically and visually. These fabrics are typically thick, rigid, and often have textured weaves that add unnecessary volume. For women over 60, especially those with softer curves or petite frames, this kind of bulk tends to hide the body, not in a good way. Instead of elegance, you get excess. Instead of definition, you get distraction. Take a leaner, 71, from Michigan. She wore a boxy jacket made of metallic jacquard to her niece's wedding, while the color suited her. The stiff shoulders and bumpy texture made her look wider and shorter in photos. It felt regal, she said, but I ended up looking like the upholstery on a fancy sofa. Here's how to avoid that. White heavy checkmark swap for fabrics with soft structure. Think gabardine, linen rayon blends, or tencel twill. These hold a silhouette but still move naturally with your body. White heavy checkmark use texture sparingly. A touch of texture on a collar or cuff can add interest. But an entire outfit made of stiff or bumpy fabric, that's overkill. White heavy checkmark go for tailored over boxy. Even structured pieces should skim the body. A lightly shaped blazer in soft wool will always feel more youthful than a square-cut canvas coat. White heavy checkmark avoid overly metallic or embossed patterns. Many older jacquards have shiny threads or raised motifs that feel dated. Instead, choose subtle patterns like tone-on-tone herringbone or minimalist checks in matte finishes. And when it comes to layering, balance is key. If you're wearing a piece with texture or weight, keep the rest of your outfit light and fluid. For example, pair a softly structured textured jacket with a flowing blouse underneath and slim leg pants. This creates contrast, which adds movement, elegance, and life to your entire look. Texture should add depth, not drag you down. If the fabric makes you feel stiff, overdone, or bulky, it's not the structure, it's the wrong kind of structure. Thin, saggy jersey knit. The fabric that clings and drags you down. Jersey knits can be a woman's best friend or her biggest fashion betrayal. When made well, they're soft, stretchy, and flattering. But when the fabric is too thin, too slinky, or too cheap, it quickly turns from comfortable to careless. Low-quality jersey, especially the kind used in fast fashion or bargain loungewear, often clings in all the wrong places, shows every line of your undergarments, and stretches out by noon. Instead of gently skimming the body, it sticks to the belly, droops at the bust, and pools around the hips, making your entire outfit feel tired. This fabric also tends to lose its elasticity after just a few washes. The result? Necklines that sag, hems that twist, and tops that fall off your shoulders in all the wrong ways. Let's talk about Carol, 65, from Illinois. She loved her Old Navy jersey tee. It was light, easy to layer, and felt like pajamas. But when she saw herself in a store window reflection, she realized the fabric was so thin it became semi-transparent in sunlight, and the saggy neckline was dragging her posture down. She replaced it with a slightly thicker cotton modal tee with a structured neckline, and suddenly looked sharper, taller, and more put together. Here's how to upgrade without sacrificing comfort. White heavy checkmark. Choose heavier weight jersey blends. Look for cotton modal, bamboo spandex, or ribbed knits. These hold their shape, resist wrinkling, and drape instead of cling. White heavy checkmark. Test the stretch recovery. Gently pull and release the fabric. If it snaps back, it's a keeper. If it stays stretched out, put it back on the shelf. White heavy checkmark. Go for detail and design. Structured sleeves, side seams, or slight tailoring at the waist can elevate a basic tee or dress instantly. White heavy checkmark. Avoid overworn basics. that favorite black tee you've worn weekly for 3 years, it probably isn't doing you any favors anymore. When shopping online, check fabric weight in the description. Anything below 150 GSM, grams per square meter, is likely too thin. Aim for 180-220 GSM for tops and slightly more for dresses or pants. Bonus tip, layer smart. If you're wearing jersey, add a scarf, blazer, or cardigan in a contrasting texture, like linen or lightweight denim, to create dimension and structure. Rule of thumb, if the fabric makes you constantly adjust, tug, or feel exposed, your body's already telling you it's time for an upgrade. So now you know, sometimes it's not about what you're wearing, but what your clothes are made of. Choosing the right fabric is about more than fashion. It's about honoring your body, your journey, and the woman you've become. Because after 60, you deserve clothes that don't just fit. You deserve clothes that feel good, move with you, and reflect your quiet strength. Maybe it's time to let go of that clingy jersey top that never made you feel confident. Maybe that shiny satin blouse can be replaced with something softer, something that breathes, and maybe, just maybe, your next favorite outfit isn't something you need to buy, but something you already own, in a better fabric. If this video gave you a fresh perspective, I'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment below. Which fabric surprised you the most? What changes are you excited to try? Your story might just inspire another woman watching today. And don't forget, hit that like button, share this video with someone who deserves to feel beautiful in her own skin, and subscribe to Healthwise for Seniors for weekly videos full of style tips, inspiration, and self-celebration. Because elegance doesn't fade with age. It just becomes quieter, wiser, and more real. Thank you so much for watching. And remember, your style isn't about impressing others. It's about expressing yourself. Gracefully, confidently, and always authentically.